Hi everybody! So I'm getting to this video quite a bit later than usual. How's it going, you guys? Well, as you can see, I'm getting to this reaction much later than normal, so I'm not going to talk a ton about last night's game, but what I did want to come on and talk about was some of the clear holes that are still in the Montreal Canadiens lineup, and yes, that's due to injuries, that specific circumstance, absolutely, but also it's not just Montembeault that's struggling right now to me. Couple things. Firstly, yes, I do have a sore on my head or something. Like, as you can see, this has been up here on my runway of a forehead for several videos now, and I'm working on it. I am trying to get it healed. So for those that notice it, yes, it's a distraction. I'm aware of it. One of you guys mentioned I should put cover up or something on. I'm like, I don't have the heart to I'm not going to do that. That's my wife's cover up, not mine. But no, still not going to do it. So in the game last night for the Canadiens, it started off really, really well. The Canadiens picked up right where they left off with the excitement, the hype of the second comeback in a row against Nashville, and Caulfield with that sweet pass to Slavkovsky. Suzuki capitalizing on the power play on a sweet feed from Demidov, and we were all feeling pretty good about ourselves to start the game last night. Then the Rangers realized they're the Rangers, and they just have this knack for playing really well against the Canadiens. You heard the point streaks for Zibanejad and Panarin and JT Miller. I mean, these guys know how to handle the Canadiens, and they've been doing it, and they keep doing it. The obvious stuff out of the way here, yes, Samuel Montembeault, you wanted another save out of him for sure, and that 3-2 goal was, to me, the backbreaker, which said, actually, no, it was Panarin's goal to make it go 4-2. That was the real backbreaker, even though Dobson made it 4-3. The 4-2 goal was the backbreaker, but when he made it 3-2, that's when you started to feel discouraged, like, okay, maybe the Canadiens have lost the handle on this one. You're always happy for a guy when he gets his first NHL goal, so hats off to Robertson on the Rangers for doing that. But as far as the Canadiens are concerned, I mean, that was a save that you wanted from Sam Montembeault, but it was a great shot. Credit to the guy's first NHL goal. It was a great shot that beat him clean. Still one that Sam Montembeault wanted to have back. And you know what? Frankly, Sam Montembeault did shoulder a lot of the responsibility in the loss last night and said that he's got to be better. So nobody knew more than Sam Montembeault that he had to be better. But the thing right now is that it's obvious to us, I mean, I think it should be, that Jakub Dobes should get the start tomorrow night against Buffalo. And I think we've all started talking about it in the first few games, how Jakub Dobes is going to really challenge Sam Montembeault to be the starter this season, and right now is his best opportunity to take over the crease, frankly, in my mind. They need wins, they need steady play, and it, like Matt said in his video too, I just watched it, and I have to agree that Monty has looked shaky from the outset of this season. Dobes has not. He's looked steadier in there, more confident, so now is the opportunity, I believe, for him to really take the bull by the horns here and take grasp of this situation and this opportunity to really show Marty St. Louis and the Canadiens that you can be the guy right now. Another key highlight last night for me was the absence of Goalie. It was very apparent to me that Goalie was missing in the lineup, especially against a Rangers offense that just knows how to score against the Canadiens. They know where the weak spots seem to be. And yes, Sammy didn't help their cause, but in terms of Montreal's defense, Goalie was missing. And I hate to say it in a sense, but it's like Arber Xhekaj is no Goalie. I know Xhekaj knows that. I know he stuck up for Hudson and fought last night. And frankly, the hit on Hudson, what I liked is the fact that Hudson, I mean, he responded for himself. He stuck up for himself and hit the player back. So did Arber Xhekaj really need to step in there and fight? I don't think it was absolutely necessary, but he's the sheriff. That's a big part of his role. I just still think you need a lot more out of Arber Xhekaj than just the sheriff stuff. I think that's a very valid point, and that's where Goalie, a guy who can also fight if needed, can do a lot more on defense for the Canadiens. He can bring offense at times when needed. He can hit really hard. He can fight. He can play sound positional hockey. He can make good passes out of his own zone. He can be responsible in his own zone. He can block shots. He can do a lot more. And I think that that's what I want to see out of Arber Xhekaj, is a lot more than just the sheriff stuff. Xhekaj got 2 shots on goal last night, but here's where my argument, I think, has more validity too. You look at the time on ice. Xhekaj played 10-20 last night. Jaden Struble played 16-22. Only Joe Veleno and Owen Beck had less ice time than Arber Xhekaj last night, and it's understandable because they were coming in, playing in their first NHL game this season, and you expect that they weren't going to get a ton of ice unless their line was really rolling. But I thought Veleno also looked pretty decent last night. He looked like an NHL player to me. I thought Beck looked okay, but it just says something to me that, again, this coaching staff still just doesn't have the full trust in Arber Xhekaj still. I see Xhekaj get opportunities. He had 2 shots on goal last night. I see him being an absolute team player, sticking up for his teammates. The one thing the Canadiens definitely have going right now that the Toronto Maple Leafs absolutely do not is culture and sticking up for one another without even having to ask. You saw how upset Stolarz was last night after he got bulldozed against Seattle, and nobody, including 2 of his players standing right in front of him in the crease, did nothing to defend their goaltender. I think that everyone deserves a second chance. I just want to see more out of some of our guys early on in the season here. What the Canadiens do have going from every single player on the ice in the locker room is that they do have a pack mentality. They're willing to stick up for each other. The culture is strong. It's never been better, I would say. Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov is a line that, frankly, has been working very well. The Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky line still working well, of course, as our first line. No complaints about those 2 lines, but I think there's just still more to be had. There's still kind of some holes in this lineup, and I think it's okay to acknowledge because we're expecting more wins now, and the Canadiens are going to have to resolve this quick before it dissolves into bigger problems early in the season, especially when there are injuries. And this is where depth plays a crucial role. Some of you mentioned it in my pregame video yesterday. If you don't have depth down your lineup, you're going to lose games when guys get injured. And right now, the Canadiens are going to need to tighten up and figure out how to play better in front of their goaltenders also. We also got to see more offense generated from the team in general too. But that's my thoughts, guys. I just had to get that out of my system here. And I know I got to this video a lot later, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. And thank you so much for the support. Seriously. I've been doing my best here, and I'm not going to be able to do a post game after every single game. I always start off pretty hot at the beginning of the season when hockey's back, so I love getting a chance to talk about every game for the first week or 2, but I just want to thank you for being here, for those of you that did, and thank you and welcome to the new members that have joined the channel. I appreciate you guys, and thank you. Let me know your comments down below. I love to hear what you guys think, so feel free to disagree, agree, whatever you want to do, but I appreciate the support, guys. Click like, click subscribe, and we'll see you post-game after the Sabres game tomorrow.